What's guys? What's up? Good morning. 7:30 on a Thursday. We're supposed to have a new president, but the existing president's staying. I actually haven't been paying attention. I went and voted, and after I voted, I felt fine. And just gotta wait. It's a waiting game now. So welcome back. So today we're gonna do basically these classes that I'm teaching Tuesday, Thursday morning are a combination of mobility and movement that's applicable to JiuJitsu. Not just JiuJitsu, but just everyday life. So if you were here on Tuesday, you know that I start with breathing before class and after class. So we're gonna start with a few maximal inhales and just like a soft exhale. Inhale, exhale. If you haven't done the breathing class, look at the previous class that I did on Tuesday. I kind of explained it a little bit more. I'm gonna, as the classes go along, I'm gonna start explaining them less and less because I'm assuming that a lot of you have taken my previous classes. Okay? So go ahead and sit in whatever position you want to be. And let's just start with being in the moment for right now. So you can sit Indian style, sit on your knees the way I'm sitting. Just kind of close your eyes and sit in silence for a few seconds. Try to relax your frame against itself. Pay attention to your breath. Slowly start to pick up the breath. And open your eyes. Shake that off for just 1 second. That felt good. That was a nice little 10-second meditation. All right, so here we go. So again, one more time, diaphragm down, breath in, open up the chest, reflexive out, okay? Here we go. Few more. 2 more. Last one. And hold. Hold on the in-breath. Should feel nice and tingly. Resist the urge to let the breath out. Hold that breath. You just finished taking a bunch of oxygen in. Your blood is super saturated. This is going to give you the happy, happy joy feelings. Got to resist the urge to breathe out. And reflexive out. And again in. Reflexive out. Again in. Keep going. Three more. And really flex it out. Hold the breath in. Excuse me, hold the breath out. Hold. Now you did all the way in, all the way out. Your blood is already super saturated. It's feeling really, really good. Holding your breath down at this bottom is what you want to learn to get good at. And reflex it in. So now we're going to go all the way out, reflexive in. So here we go. So, and go all the way out. and reflexive in. Again, all the way out. Pull that belly button in and reflexive in. A few more, all the way out and reflexive in. 2 more, all the way out and reflexive in. Last one, all the way out and reflexive in. Good. Now we got the body awake. Just kind of doing whatever. Kind of will continue waking up your body. Kind of sit in the new amount of oxygen you have in your blood. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a whole C.A.R.s routine. So I'm going to go through it quickly. Down at the bottom, I'm going to add a link of where you can just go to each individual C.A.R. It's on my YouTube channel. Basically, you got to sign up for it, and then it'll give you access to doing one joint at a time. So I'm going to skip a little bit of the steps here. I'm not going to go through like how to do each C.A.R. I'm just going to give you directions as how to do the C.A.R. but cues, not necessarily like how to do it. Here we go. So we'll start with the cervical and then working our way down. Radiate, flexion, you're going to rotate, hip that your back, go all the way around to the opposite side. Come back to center, opposite side, flexion down, rotate, hip that your back, all the way around. To center, one more in each direction, dip down, rotate, dip that to your back, come all the way around. Use your eyes as like directions. Meanwhile, you're trying to irradiate everything else in your body. Basically, irradiation is just tension in the rest of your body so that nothing moves but your cervical spine. Good. From there, shoulder C.A.R.s, shoulder blade C.A.R.s, excuse me. Here you're going to elevate, protract, depress, protract. Again. Pause, go forward, protract, depress, retract, elevate. Protract, depress, retract, elevate. The better you get at those, the more you realize how much tension you have around your shoulder blades. Okay, next is your actual shoulder. So tuck your toes in the back. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up to like a standing kneeling. That makes any sense? From here, you're going to press down the one side against your actual thigh. And we're going to start with the one arm. From here, you're going to straighten up, palm facing up, until you hit like a little bit of a blockage. Once you're there, that's when you start internal rotating at the shoulder as you reach back and do maximal flexion as you're reaching back, rotating the hand around so that it's facing away from you, and then reverse. And again, in case you ever notice, we're doing 2 repetitions. Perfect. So just so you're aware, I don't know if you were noticing, I was giving you too many cues on that. You want to try to hold everything very rigid. So this arm is pressing against the thigh. My arm is locked in place. And I'm doing like a mild pressing against my thigh. And it basically keeps my whole left side rigid. And it allows me to generate tension on the opposite side. So that basically I become like this stiff board. That's what you want to do, is create yourself so that you're a stiff board, so that way each individual joint can work independently because it's being stabilized by the rest of your body. Okay, switch sides, press, palm facing up, come to the midline, internal rotation. This is the side that I hurt, so this side always is much, much tougher for me. All the way around, palm facing away, reverse. Much more effort on this side for me than on the opposite side. And that's because I got arm barred when I was a white belt. And I was moving like an asshole. And I was rolling with a brown belt. He didn't do anything wrong. And it's just a combination of the two. He ended up hurting. Whew. That was a little bit fatiguing for me. Okay, now we're going to do the thoracic. It's basically it's like the midsection of your spine is what we're working on. So in this type of situation, what I do is I tuck the toes that are tucked behind me. What I do is I start putting a little bit of tension onto my big toe, and it drives my hip upwards so that now I'm very rigid here. So that this section, my hip girdle, doesn't move. From there, you're gonna hug yourself. And you're gonna go ahead and flex. Rotate. This is very similar to the one that we did with the cervical spine or the head. Same conceptual idea. So that's what you got to feel when you're doing this. In other words, your hip girdle from your belly button down is like your shoulder girdle is for your head. And your mid back to upper back is your actual head. And you're rotating it around your shoulder girdle. I don't know if that makes sense or if you can visualize that. This one, you feel all the intricate muscles around your actual spine. It's a little weird once you first start getting it. Because the first reaction of those muscles is to panic and to cramp. Because they usually don't get used in this type of system, this type of situation. Which is why we're doing it. The better your spine moves, the better you move. Okay, elbow C.A.R.s, palm facing up, rigid. Good. Pronate, rotate out, maximal rotation, supinate, elbow extension. Pronate, flexion, keep it flexed now. So, move on to the wrist, karate chop, reach the arm across. For me, wrists are my hardest to communicate to. It's like I don't know exactly what muscle that needs to fire. It always feels weird. But when it feels weird, that's your body telling you that the communication is not efficient. So just know that whenever you feel like in a weird position, it's because your body doesn't understand how to communicate to it. Like this side's even worse. On the adduction, extension, adduction, flexion, extension, other way. Wow. I don't know what I did to this wrist this week. All right. Now we're going to do hip car. Here, flexion, out, and internal rotation as we extend back. So when you're doing these C.A.R.s for the first time, you want to kind of do low irradiation. So not too much actual contractile tension. It's more like stability and a little bit of more like flow. You're trying to get the hip, or especially the hip, to understand the movement without actually doing a lot of internal force. So it's a very low irradiation. 2 on each side. Now we're moving on to the knees. By the way, I tried a different lighting setup. So let me know if this one's better. Not sure. For me, it looks like there's a little bit of a shadow, but whatever. I'll see it after the fact. Okay, so this one, if you've never done it before, or if you're still trying to get it, what I try to do is I basically put my heel down and almost kind of create a little bit of traction here. So it's like I'm kind of almost curling my foot towards myself. What that does is it creates like a pivot point for my foot. So even though my foot is moving, really the actual movement is coming from the pivot of the heel of the foot, because I'm rotating the tibia here within my knee. So when you're doing this, this is more like to kind of get to know that your shin is able to do this, okay? Because it's very difficult when you're recreating this when you're moving actively, okay? So cable grip underneath, sit back. Remember, you don't want to go full extension, knee extension, because if you do that, then there'll be no rotation of the tibia. Good. Other side. Remember, 2 in each direction. So in, extend, out, come down. Keep it out, extend, in, come down. Awesome. Last is the ankle. Actually, I forgot. It's actually the toes. So this one is, I thought it was weird when I first started getting into this. So people think it's weird sometimes about your toes. But the way I tell people is your feet are kind of like your hands. They give your body, your brain information. And imagine if you walk around with gloves all day long, every day. Well, what happens is you lose dexterity of your toes. Your body doesn't understand where the information is coming from. So you need to practice like communicating to your toes. So this one we're going to do is you're going to go 10 toes up, 4 down, keep the big toe up. Repeat, 10 toes up, 4 down, keep the big toe up. Now the opposite way, so 10 toes up, big toe down, leave the 4 up. Big toe, all 10 toes up, big toe down, and leave the 4 up. Cool. All right, so that's a full body C.A.R.s routine. The better you get at it, the faster it goes. It takes about 6 or 7 minutes. Actually, not that long. It's about 8 to 10 minutes in the morning. But it's the best thing you can do for basically your body. It's just you're literally having a conversation with your joints every single morning. It lubricates your joints, and your brain understands its ability to move within the maximal amount of workspace that it has, which is beneficial. Okay, so let's move on to the hips. So 90-90. Doesn't matter which side that you pick. Remember, rotating, you're basically trying to push the sitting hip like backwards. So however you need to get there, if you needed like a yoga booster, or if you need something like underneath to make it a little easier on you, don't cheat the angle of the 90 degrees. It's important. Okay, find that end range, wherever that's at for you. For me, that's about it. Remember, it has to be like a comfortable discomfort. So you got to find it where, bear with me 1 second. Keep sitting in the stretch. Sorry about that. Okay, now we're gonna do pails and rails on the back leg. So pails you're gonna be pushing down, rails you're gonna be pulling up, okay? But just like we did with the C.A.R.s, it's all about irradiating. So when you're gonna go to the rails where you have to lift the foot up, the goal here is to stiffen the rest of the body up so that you get true axial rotation of the femur, of your thigh bone, okay? So here we go, pails, start pushing down, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, hold that 40%. Hold that tension down. You gotta practice isometrically trying to recruit muscle to cause this rotation. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Irradiate. Get that foot up in the back. 5, 4, rails, dig. Dig, keep going. Keep going. 2 and 1. Slowly let it down, release the tension. Melt into the new space that you just acquired. That was good for me. That was a good 10 or 15 degrees. Everything relaxed. Take 1 or 2 breaths here. Now start doing pails again. This time you're gonna maximal effort. So slowly rev up, 10% to 20%. And keep revving up until you find that safest and greatest that you can maintain. Good. And now 10, 9, 8. Figure out what exactly muscle is trying to cause this rotation and tell it to fire harder. 3, 2, 1. And from there, rails, irradiate and get that foot up. Irradiate harder, dig, dig. Pull it even harder. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it down. We gotta do C.A.R.s on that hip. I gotta change the setting on my laptop. Okay. 2 hip C.A.R.s on the trail leg, and we just finished doing the pails and rails too. Okay. Once we're here, we're gonna up the irradiation. So we did a very low irradiation when we're doing the whole C.A.R.s, the global C.A.R.s. This time we're doing it focused. So we're increasing the amount of internal effort that we're going to generate. Hip flexion, hip abduction, internal rotation as you extend up towards the ceiling. Bring it back, and then reverse. Hip extension, external rotation as we do the hip flexion. And we're going to do one more. Flexion, abduction, internal rotation as you kick it back and bring it back. Last part, hip extension, external rotation as we bring it all the way around. That was intense. Woo. All right, other side. So for me, this side is my crappy side. You may have a good side. You may have a shitty side. Each side is independently different. So find that in range, whatever that looks like for you. Just do a self-check. Make sure that everything's at 90. Ankles at 90, knees at 90, hip is at 90. Everything looks lined up to the best of your ability. Remember, this is not about the amount of mobility you have. This is about the quality of the mobility that you already exists. The better you get at the current mobility that you have, whatever that looks like, the faster you're going to get better mobility. Okay, let's start doing pails with the back leg. Start pushing down. 10%, 20%, 30%. This is the low irradiation one. 40%. Excuse me. Low effort is at 40%. Irradiating is always going to be as strong as you possibly can maintain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails, irradiate, and bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly let it down. Wow, I made some gains on that leg because this is my crappy side. Wow. I have to resist. I have to really think through, like relax, because I'm almost getting like a cramp in my hip here. But that's what we're doing, my internal rotators. And it's just because they don't know how to fire properly. And again, pails, start pushing down. This time, maximal effort, whatever that looks like for you. 50%. Keep digging, keep pushing harder. Harder. 10, 9. Now that you got it, hold that effort. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You radiate the midsection. Get that foot up. Get that foot up. 5. Dig. Get that foot up. Internal rotation. 2 and 1. Slowing it down. Ouch. Always hurts on that side. Whew. Oh, we gotta do 2 C.A.R.s on this side. Whew. That took a lot out of me. All right. Quadruped. Here we go. Inflection. And internal rotation as you do hip extension. Reverse hip extension, external rotation as you bring your knee into hip flexion. And reverse, another one. Flexion, here goes. Internal rotation as you do hip extension. Reverse. Awesome. Bear with me 1 second. I forgot to turn on the AC because my AC makes a lot of noise and it's starting to get hot. All right. Now we're moving on the shoulder. So lay on your side, whichever side you want to lay on. If you have a yoga block, grab a yoga block so that you can prop your head up on it. Knees are going to be in front of your hips. Elbows going to be in front of your shoulder. You're going to put your fingers on the touching the tip of the elbow, and then you're going to pull your shoulder away from that tip of the elbow so that more of your shoulder is directly underneath your body. From there, we're basically doing this. This top hand is going to go on top. And you're just going to find that end range of maximal internal rotation. So kind of melt into it and see where you feel that tension. You got to stabilize your shoulder blade so that your shoulder doesn't cock up. So there's a low level of irradiation with the shoulder blade so that the shoulder itself, the glenohumeral joint, can actually relax and rotate to its max ability. So it takes me a little bit. This for me is it. Okay, pails is going to be pushing up. Rails is going to be trying to grab towards your belt buckle. Here we go. Start pushing up. feel like almost like posterior delt kind of area. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now rails, pull that hand away. Keep trying to dig, keep trying to stabilize that shoulder blade. Maximal internal rotation. 2 and 1. Let the top hand meet the bottom hand. And relax into the new space that you just found. Relax everything. Good, here we go. Pails is, again, push it up. Top hand starts to match it. So now we're gonna try to do maximal effort. So the top hand has gotta match the bottom arm. So the more you push up, the more you gotta push down so that way there's no visible change in where your actual arm is. Start revving up. Maximal effort now. Once you're there, hold that effort for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails, pull that arm away, reach for that belt buckle, get all those internal rotators to fire, a little bit of your pack, a little bit of teres minor, all this stuff has to stabilize and assist in order for you to do internal rotation. And 3, 2, 1, and relax it down. Sit in the new space for just a second. Take a breath. Try to relax the body around the new space. Slowly let it up. Oh, that was intense. Sit on up so that we can do 2 shoulder C.A.R.s. I'll face it up. One more. All right, so the other side. Remember, 90 degrees, elbow, knees in front of your hips, elbows right in front of your shoulder. 2 fingers at the tip of your elbow, and then from there, pull your elbow back. So you get more of your shoulder underneath you. Top hand meets the bottom hand. Try to find that end range for yourself. This one I had more problems stabilizing my shoulder girdle to get true internal rotation. I got it. Okay, so hold it there now. Just for a couple more seconds. Then we're going to go ahead and do pails, pushing up, rails, trying to pull away, okay? So remember, the first one, when you start pushing up, is you're going to start slowly, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Basically starting to communicate with your shoulder and telling it, hey, I need you to do this movement. Hold that radiated tension for about 40% effort. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now rails, try to pull that bottom hand away. Make that effort. Dig. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get the top hand to match the bottom hand. Relax into that new space. Take a couple of good breaths. Adjust yourself if needed. Now, heels back up now. So push it up. Maximum effort now. Remember, the top hand has to match the amount of effort the bottom hand needs. So really think, what muscles do need to engage in order for my bottom hand to win? That's what you want to be thinking as your top hand's like, nope, you can't win. You're not going anywhere. And hold that tension. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rails, pull that arm away. Pull the arm away, pull the arm away. Pull, 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 pull. 5, 4, dig. Actually, hit it more. Dig, 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 dig. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Get the top hand to match the bottom hand. Melt into that new space. Release all the tension of your upper body, your shoulder girdle, your shoulder blade. Like literally think that you're trying to melt into the ground. Slowly get out of it. Up. 2 shoulder C.A.R.s. I was much faster than it should be, but man, my shoulders are tired. All right, let's start now that our hips and our shoulders are warmed up. Let's get to like actually moving now. Okay. First one we're going to do is we're going to do the mountain climb with reach. So you sit in turtle position or child's pose, whatever you want to call it. It's more turtle position, to be honest with you. And from here, you can have your toes tucked, arms out in front of you. Try to rest your midsection against your thigh. From there, you're going to come up, and you're going to reach back. Opposite side. That's the first one. The second one is a loaded plank to push up. So from here, same thing, toes tucked. You're going to fire yourself up into a plank, and you're going to do a push-up. And then you're going to come back. That was pretty simple. The last one is usually the one that's beautiful English. The most difficult for people, which is the scapular push-ups. So you're going to load yourself to a plank, and you're just going to do the push-up just with your shoulder blade. You're going to do 10 of those. So the first one we're going to do 8. The second one we're going to do 6. The last one we're going to do 10. All right, here we go. Now, when you're doing this, you have to make a conscious effort not to sit on your frame. So all your muscles need to be active when you're doing this. So the back leg is straight, is active, quad is tight, heels are pushing back, you're pushing down into the ground. And push up now. Some more. Last one. Last but not least, tapping push-ups. Today I'm going to do them on my knees because it's about quality, not quantity. I got me out of breath. And we just rest. I don't remember how I did it. I'm trying to keep an eye on the time. I don't have a clock in here. So I don't want to try not to go over 1 hour. So I have to keep an eye on the time. Whew. I'm gonna have my breath. I'm a little sore from this week. All right, here we go. Next round. 12 tucked. And reach. Some more. Down, push up. Oh, I lost count. I think that's 6. Scapula push-ups. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wow. I got my heart rate definitely elevated today. Okay. This next one we're going to do, we're going to continue on opening up your hips. It's another hip opener. What you're going to do is you're going to get into half kneeling. So for most people, they end up kind of putting their, they end up doing this. And it's a balancing issue because you're on a tightrope. You literally feel like you're on a tightrope. So with most of us, it's actually much wider than you think it is. And it's because your hips need space in order for them to move. So think right in front of your hip, but I would say about like maybe 10 or 15 degrees out. So imagine like from your actual hip, this was 0, straight out. Think about 15 degrees out in order for your hips to actually have enough space. Okay, once you're here, what you're going to do is you're going to internally rotate your kickstand in the back. But you're doing the internal rotation at the hip, so the foot goes outwards away from you. And then from there, you reposition yourself into going forward. From there, you find your end range, whatever that looks like for you. You're literally trying to open up the back hip. And now the pails is going to be trying to drag the back knee towards the front foot. And all that hip stuff is going to try to literally get the knee forward. And start increasing the effort. 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Hold that 40%. Now, when I say rails, you're going to squeeze the back butt cheek and hamstrings and literally pull yourself forward by squeezing the posterior chain, everything in the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstrings, open up that hip even more, pull yourself forward. 2, 1. Hold in that new space. And pails again, start trying to drag that knee towards that other foot. Get that front stuff to fire. You're gonna feel a little bit more on the opposite side, inner thigh kind of hamstrings to stabilize yourself. And that's what you want. Maximal effort here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rail, squeeze that butt cheek, squeeze the hamstring, pull yourself forward, elongate that front hip. 2, 1. Sit in your new space for a second. Get yourself out slowly. Wow, that was intense. Okay, one hard hip car. So maximal effort in this hip car. So everything needs to be irradiating, very tense everywhere. And be very meticulous of where each part of the circle of the hip is working in order for you to achieve that. Contract that, getting the juices out of those fucking muscles. So here we go. We'll do it very, very slow. We're only doing one. So max out each section of the hip car. You should feel like you're almost trying to give yourself a cramp. You're flexing those muscles so hard. Ta-da. I forgot to mention, you can use the wall. I was like, so it's not so much a stability thing. You use your wall, go up against the wall, put your hand against the wall. I use sticks because it allows me to kind of focus more in radiation for the rest of the body. Plus, I'm also weaker on this side. So, again, foot in front, look at your hip joint about 10 or 15 degrees out from zero. Back foot, toes tucked. You're going to internally rotate at the hip or go outwards with your foot. Grip the ground, push your hip forward. Find that end range, whatever that looks like for you. Sit there for a second, make sure it's the right spot. And then once you have it, start trying to drag the back knee towards the front knee. Slowly rev up the amount of effort. Good. Get up to about 40%. Hold it. Hold. Just like that. Keep holding. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Radiate everything. Get that back glute, back hamstring to pull you forward. Pull, 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 pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax everything. Fine. Sit into the new space you just got. Take a breath. Now start trying to pull that knee towards that front foot. Again. Maximal effort this time. So now you're slowly revving up. You're getting to that 40%. You should be around that 40%. Now figure out where you need to pull to get that extra 10 or 20 or 30% where you're getting up to your maximal effort. And maintain, maintain, maintain. Don't let it go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rail, squeeze that butt cheek, squeeze that hamstring, pull yourself forward with those back muscles, that posterior chain firing. Dig. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Slowly get out of the new space. Woo. Wow. That was hard. Now we get to the next hard part, which is the actual hip bar at highest intensity. Only one. Here we go. You radiate that midsection, hold that spine strong, hip flexion, maximal abduction, internal rotation. Max out that internal rotation. As you do that hip extension and continue trying to do that internal rotation. Come to center, reverse, hip extension back, maximal hip extension. Squeeze that butt, squeeze that hamstring. External rotation as you do flexion. External rotation as you do flexion. Move it around. Take a break. Tell yourself, holy smokes. That was hard. Catch your breath. We got one last thing. One more big movement that we're going to practice. So we really warmed up the hips, got the spine under control, we warmed up the shoulders. Sorry, keep in the mic. We're going to do what are called kick-throughs. Okay, I'm going to show you one. So here's kick-throughs. You're going to get back to the same tabletop. I'm going to face the camera because it's easier for you to see. You're going to kind of do like a little tiny hop and like rotate this foot down to be able to get this leg to clear. Same on the opposite side. Make sense? So we're going to do 2 sets. Let's say 10. If you need to take a break in there between, do it. The key, remember, is staying strong with your shoulder girdle, so like you're pushing the ground away, and looseness of your lower body so your leg can kick through. Okay? Here we go. One, two, oh, 3. Last one. Like that. Take a second. And let's go again. Catch your breath for a second. I'm going to end out with the decompression. So while you catch your breath, I'm going to go through it. Elbow C.A.R.s, post-chain elbow C.A.R.s, 6 in one direction, 6 in the opposite direction. Elbow pins, palm facing up. Bring your weight, rotation of the shoulder joint. Needle arm. Oh, feels great. The very, very last one is the kneeling spinal wave. Ooh, cat-cow, kind of dynamic cat-cow. This one you go very slow. Okay, here we go. What I tell everybody, and I say this almost every time I do this movement, the goal here is to try to spread your fingers as much as possible. The wider your base has on your hands, the more you can disconnect the wrist from the elbow. Awesome. Ten here. Switch. Beautiful. Your arm. 6 to each side. I love this one. I think I say that every time. It just feels amazing. All right. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do another round of breathing. This time we're doing maximum in, maximum out, maximum in, maximum out. Okay, so I'm going to show you one, because the part that you got to do is you're going to try to catch the potential energy when you exhale. So you're going to diaphragm down, inhale in, exhale out, exaggerate, exhale, get that last little bit, get that belly button in, get the belly button in. Now you have potential energy here. When you let it go, when you reflexive out, the breath starts automatically. What you're going to do is pick up the breath once it's done relaxing. And then again. Understand? So just keep going in, out. So think circular motion, in, out, That's how we're doing it. You're seated. You're going to get a little lightheaded. It's normal. If you're advanced, then you can sit into this position. Try to sit in this position. Okay? Here we go. Diaphragm down. Big breath in. All the way out. Keep going. All the way in. Out. Again in. Out. Again in. Out. Three more. Last one. Close your eyes. Just do calm, relaxed breathing. Whoosh, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you liked it. As always, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Tell somebody about the class if you felt you got something from it. Much love. I appreciate you paying attention, and please give me as much feedback as possible. Since there isn't people in front of me, I can't feed off the energy. So your energy is like typing and giving me feedback, even if it's bad. Don't be an asshole. Constructive criticism is accepted. Just don't be a jerk. Anyways, love you guys. Hope this brought you value today. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And see you guys on Sunday. Peace.